We started the Balloon Festival just a few years ago.
Yeah.
Because we had a request from one of our tribal members that is a balloon pilot, and I had a balloon, and the 5 families there in Shawnee, we went together and owned a balloon and flew it for quite a number of years. And so I've always been interested in lighter than air aviation.
You're not scared of heights then?
Oh no. I grew up in the oil field. And I worked derricks on drilling rigs from the time I was 16 on for quite some time before and even after I got back from college, I worked on and off on drilling rigs. That was really how I grew up, was around the drilling business. And that's sort of how my whole life before that time I had been accustomed to having my father and myself working 7 days a week. That doesn't seem out of sync for me. So 7-day weeks didn't bother me. That kind of helped in coming along. Most of the businesses that we operate are 24-hour a day, 7-day a week businesses, because it seems to me there's the spare time and leisure time is a great thing if you have the wherewithal to do it.
Yeah.
But if you're coming along and growing, you need every hours of every day.
Yeah.
The Balloon Fest is something that's an awful lot of fun. We are moving it over to an area with a lot more room. Where we started where the RV park is, it just simply wasn't big enough. After we got to 16 balloons, it just wasn't large enough. So we moved over to a larger area over past where our ball fields are.
Yeah.
And we'll be able to accommodate in that area. We'll be able to accommodate 60 or 70 balloons if we ever get to that size. If you've ever been to Albuquerque and seen the International Balloon Festival,
I would love to.
And see 800 balloons go up at one time, it's a stunning thing to watch. It's just beautiful. So that and balloons at night when the heaters go off and light them up from inside, it's exciting.
Yeah, that's great that you have that personal connection to it as well. I would never have guessed. There's probably a lot of people that don't know that, right? That you know that you like to fly those, and you had in the family.
Well, the balloon originally belonged to St. Gregory's University, and it was contributed to them, and it sat in their basement for 5 years because no one could fly it. And so. My wife and my father-in-law, who was the fixed-based operator of the airport in Shawnee, and my wife was a flight instructor. And so we put together a group of people that were interested in flying, and we contributed in and bought the balloon and started to fly it. And my father-in-law was the first person in town to get his lighter than air rating, and so it went from there.
Yeah.
And we flew the balloon until basically the balloon wore out. It was not a very contemporary design because it was old when they contributed it to St. Gregory's, and then it sat for 5 or 6 years. So it wasn't really one of the newer ones. It was difficult to fly.
Yeah.
And so it finally went the way of all the old balloons. But now, what's interesting is that now there are 6 people in Shawnee that own balloons that are active in flying. Yeah. So it's become, we kind of let it get away, we got away from it for a number of years, and then the opportunity came back because we had the space and we had the wherewithal to take advantage of that time of the year to do something at night that brought people in to get them out of the heat. And we have the space to do it and a place to sell them something to eat and something to drink and a place to play good music and turn it into a festival.